We got a game-changing surprise arrival to Egghead this chapter, one that I've been desperately hoping for. Luffy returns as well. We get more info on Kizaru's true allegiances and more, so make sure to stay tuned for that, as we are fast approaching the conclusion of this insane arc. That much is obvious after this chapter. Now, channel Pelican within and smash that like button if you enjoy seeing One Piece videos like this one. I want to keep them coming. Make this the video you join the Nakama if you haven't already by subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss future One Piece reviews and updates. And you're also helping us reach our insanely close goal at this point of 2 million subscribers here on YouTube. And now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. So if you'll remember last time, we had the oh so satisfying punch that Kuma delivered to Saturn, the punch that shook the world. Oh so satisfying, not only because it was a slave punching the man at the pinnacle of the world, to use a bystander's words, but also because he was the man directly responsible not only for Kuma becoming a cyborg, but also he caused Bonnie's disease that made him agree to become a cyborg in the first place. This super privileged and powerful dude acted horribly and caused Kuma and his loved ones so much suffering that we needed that punch for catharsis, for emotional relief. And also for catharsis, we needed the follow-up moment of Bonnie hugging Kuma and thanking him for everything now that she saw the truth in his memories and she knows that he did in fact write those letters. Not gonna lie, I would have been furious if she never found that out. Now, of course, that one punch didn't finish off Saturn. Kuma isn't Saitama after all, but Luffy was no longer where he was laying, as we saw last chapter, leading us to believe that he'll be ready to fight Saturn soon. Saturn didn't stay down long and he even regrew lost limbs. There doesn't seem to be any lasting damage. Kuma's attack did, however, free all the people who were frozen though, for whatever reason, and so Sanji can deflect Saturn's attack when he goes after Bonnie and Kuma again. And honestly, how cool is that Sanji deflected Elder's attack? Kizaru joined in attacking Frankie, and in the last panel, Saturn said, and I quote, "Those who study the secrets of the world, those who possess the blood of a lost people, those who have awakened an ancient god. This island is full of inconvenient people that must be eradicated," end quote. He said this in the context of activating the Buster Call and deciding to burn Egghead to the ground in the name of justice. As laughable as that sounds, but in 1984, Orwell showed how governments take advantage of doublespeak, saying things like war is peace, so I guess we shouldn't be that shocked. For the elders, clearly, injustice is justice. Now, chapter 1105 is called The Pinnacle of Stupidity, and what a beautiful title for such an intense and hype chapter. We're told Sanji sends off Bonnie at the vacuum rocket and goes back to save Vegapunk. So it seems like Kuma's final stand, which we still can't fully explain how it happened, was a resounding success, since not only did he save Bonnie in that moment, he also freed Sanji from whatever force was holding him frozen, and Sanji went on to help Bonnie get to safety, or at least that's what it seems like right now. So that feels very gratifying from Kuma's perspective. The loving father managed to save his daughter, and we all know that would be what's most important to him. Saturn then tells Vegapunk that he ordered the destruction of Egghead's evacuation ship. We saw something similar at Ohara, and the idea is to minimize risks or witnesses at all costs. It's very unfair, but luckily this time, as we'll see, we won't repeat history. There are now forces in the world who can fight back against the world government's injustices, but more on that exciting twist later. The Marine battleship starts shooting at Egghead Island. Saturn says he and Kizaru will remain, probably because they are the strongest and also have the least chance of dying. Saturn at this point seems like he could straight up be immortal and just regenerate from everything, and Kizaru could probably avoid most dangers and peace out with his light powers when it's time. Now, of course, we will get to Kizaru again and what side he's truly on. For now though, we cut to Nami, Robin, Who's Sleeping, and Chopper. They're all at the back of the Labo phase. Brook and Lilith are preparing for the escape, moving the Thousand Sunny by melting the clouds and sliding the Thousand Sunny to the back door. So we see the early makings of the escape here. Zoro for his part is still fighting Lucci, but we don't actually see them this chapter. I personally hope we see Zoro deal with him or get the upper hand in a big way before they're done, but either way we've shown progress as a weaker Luffy fought him way back when, and now the first mate Zoro can keep him busy even though Lucci is now awakened and much stronger than before. It shows clearly the progress the crew has made as a whole. And keep in mind, Lucci has been described as a genius and now he's awakened, so a non-captain being able to deal with him is really cool when you think about it. about it. What I'm saying is we should appreciate this moment and not just write it off casually. But the reason we know Zoro is still fighting him is because Jinbei goes where they are to break it up, and also my favorite part, to make sure Zoro isn't lost. I love that. It would be hilarious if Jinbei shows up and Lucci is like, there's no way Zoro is escaping, and Jinbei was just like, nah, Zoro is gonna wreck you, but I just need to make sure that he doesn't get lost afterwards. Back to Sanji now, and I love getting more from him after his latest hype power-up that allowed him to beat Queen with ease. That's right, not a captain, not a first mate, and yet still crushing an over 1 billion berry opponent with ease. Although he can't last, he also has one over the Elder for now, because he blocked his attack while Saturn didn't really do anything to him yet. So Sanji is running back to Vegapunk, and then Kizaru flies up and cuts the vacuum rocket. Both Bonnie and Kuma fall, and at this point, it is not looking good for the Kizaru joining the Straw Hats theory and him being the one that saved Luffy. I will hold out hope until the end, a little bit at least, that he's just trying to play the part until he can turn on the Elder at the opportune time, but this is also different than just kicking Frankie. Why couldn't he just let the little girl escape safely rather than putting her in danger again? He could have tried to do a little battle with Sanji while letting her go. And so, for that reason, it's getting harder and harder to believe that Kizaru has committed to the Straw Hats, that's for sure. And believe me, I'd like nothing better than that twist, because why wouldn't the Sun God have the Admiral of Light on his crew if his character foil Blackbeard can have one? But it's not looking good, that must be acknowledged at this point. Still, I am waiting for some kind of payoff for all of the tension Kizaru has been dealing with in this arc. Saturn then orders all Pacifistas to shoot at them, thinking how pathetic it is that they will be killed by Kuma's clones. Saturn says this is the pinnacle of stupidity. So get excited because he just said the title of the chapter in the chapter. Who saves Bonnie and Kuma from the Pacifista will now be a big deal. If Kizaru is committed to fighting alongside the Elder, we need someone else to intervene here and quick. Sanji won't be enough, meaning Luffy should be ready soon. And we're actually told in some spoilers that we do see Luffy in the chapter near the food making machine, so he should be good to go next chapter. That's my guess. He's been eating a lot of food, and he should especially be up because Kizaru has already been up for a while, and Luffy can't let himself be outclassed by an admiral at this point. Then we get to easily the most hype part of the chapter. We see the marine battleship that was sent by Saturn to sink Egghead's evacuation ship, but the marine battleship has been destroyed by an unknown enemy. A surviving marine says, contact Kizaru at once. We need to tell him that they are heading to Egghead. Now, during chapter 1079, we saw a ship with Blackbeard's flag near Egghead. But I honestly don't think it's them that they're talking about because that was a long time ago at this point, and why would they want to help the innocent? No, I've been saying for a while now that this is the perfect time for Dragon to show up, and I'm feeling this could be it. They would obviously attack the Marines to save the innocent, and after all of the Dragon flashback stuff we got recently, after the bond between the revolutionaries, and especially Dragon with Kuma, and with Kuma and his daughter being here, it just seems like it has to be them at this point. So just think of that hype with the revolutionaries like Dragon and Sabo making it possible for the Straw Hats to escape, righting the wrong that they couldn't at Ohara when a refugee ship was destroyed. At this point, that would seem perfect, and because of a Dragon and Luffy reunion, it would be one of the most hyped twists, so that's what I'm thinking and hoping for. And we know Dragon helped Luffy before with Smoker, and we saw him reaffirm how important Luffy is to him in a recent flashback, so I think Luffy in this seemingly impossible situation right now is a prime candidate for some more Dragon assistance. And getting revenge for his best bud Kuma would just be icing on top of the cake for Dragon. Let me know your thoughts though about this chapter and who you think it is in the comments. We'll know next week who gets it right because there's thankfully no break, and if you did enjoy this video, you won't want to miss my recent one about every character's reaction to seeing Luffy's Gear 5 so far, link on screen right now. Like and subscribe to help us make anime uproar history by hitting 2 million subscribers here on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next one.